We're on. Well, good morning, everyone. A few technical difficulties, but we got there. My name's Ian McDougall, and really pleased to be here with a couple of fantastic presenters here for the latest in the VTIC webinar series. The program slightly changed. Glenn from Monarch Institute is unfortunately rather unwell, so can't make it, but never mind. We have got a fantastic replacement, so to speak. We have one of the trainers from Monarch Institute, very well known to most of you, Despina Karatsias, or Despi as we know her. Now, Despi, together with Louise Hudson, Monarch Institute's Industry Engagement Manager, is here to talk to us today all about turning your competitors into partners. Please ask questions as we go. We're going to type them away and we'll get them into the presentation as we proceed along, but no point in leaving something unanswered. Despi loves questions, so ask away. Despi, over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Wishing Glenn a speedy recovery, and thank you to Lou and Ian and everyone for inviting me along to speak to you all good things about how we can turn our competitors into partners. And being in our industry, how amazing that's. I like to think of our industry and this very topic as co-opetition, something that our industry just wouldn't exist without our partners and our collaborations with other businesses that are directly aligned and do very similar things to what we do, and also and that are direct competitors or not. Our collaboration, our partnerships, our programs, there isn't one business that you would see that isn't thriving, that is not collaborating in this way. So let's talk about how we can turn how we can engage partnership marketing initiatives to transform our business. What we really want, what the intentions we've set today is seeing our competitors as partners and really having, I like to call this an abundant mindset when it comes to our business engagements. And further to this, we will look at, there we go. No, that's okay. Further to this, we'll look at developing smart collaborations with industry. I always love to advocate that partnerships don't always, it doesn't need to just happen when we're face-to-face. Certainly engaging with industry through our online initiatives, through our social media initiatives, it's something to always be aware of, and to create those smart collaborations and be strategic about these collaboration, and also networking to develop these partnerships with industry, competition and co-opetition. And that is even I attended a young tourism network last night, and certainly they were really speaking true, and a lot of the I guess a lot of the more experienced tourism people in the room really put a focus on how important it is for young or old to network and build those relationships. You just never know what can come out of them, is it? So let's talk small business in particular. As we know, small businesses, particularly in our industry, make up the bulk of the contribution to the Australian economy to keep us thriving. It's a heavily congested market, so we always need to be innovating and look at different ways how we can keep developing ourselves to develop our business and grow and be sustainable and be profitable, most importantly. And tourism thriving on partnership. And I'll share with you some of my own experiences through the wonderful global ballooning and how much partnerships, I embrace partnerships very early on in the same way. I mean, now I have my own training business through partnerships. Monarch Institute on a much larger scale do the very same thing, but certainly through my partnerships have been able to take that same ethos to what we're talking about today to keep myself employed and feed the family. The Victorian tourism industry made up of 270,000 businesses across sectors, including our wonderful accommodation providers, food services, all of the retail trade, transport, and employing, look at that, almost 1 million people. That is something not to be, I mean, we talk a lot, and there's been a number of VTIC campaigns over the years, and we keep saying a lot of businesses, you know, they don't know, a lot of businesses are in tourism and they don't see themselves as tourism businesses, but certainly also contribute to that. So how do you create partnerships from competitors? I would say the very first thing in how to create partnership from competitors is to not see them as competitors, to always be thinking, how could we align and help each other grow? It could be, you know, you have 2 bed and breakfasts in the same region doing very similar thing. How can we get together and promote and encourage and educate the market on why bed and breakfasts are so much better than any other type of accommodation, if that makes sense? So the first part on creating partnerships from our competition is to not see them as competition, definitely. Now, at Global Ballooning, I spent a number of years managing this gorgeous business. Now, something that we did, and we did very, very well, was conduct very safe and beautiful, majestic sunrise hot air balloon flights over Melbourne and the Yarra Valley. Now, so did another 3 or 4, maybe 5 businesses that came into the market space at that time. Now, seeing them as competition would really not help us thrive, help hot air ballooning, help the skyline over Melbourne be seen as the place to experience this amazing tour activity. So actually collaborating with everyone else, we helped each other through, as an example, of chartering services. So we all had limited places on our baskets. If we had overfill, we could be able to collaborate with our other hot air balloon businesses and give work to each other. And certainly also when it came to dealing with authorities such as CASA, the aviation regulator in this state, or any other type of authority that we had to go in there and vouch and wave the flag as ambassadors that this must continue to be an iconic experience in Melbourne. This had to be done as a collective. There's not anywhere near as much power in one as there is in togetherness. And other ways that we could collaborate. Now, we did hot air ballooning, we did that really well, but we didn't have a breakfast venue. We did hot air ballooning, we did that very well, but we didn't have accommodation for people to stay overnight. We did ballooning, we did that very well, but we didn't have anything else when they finished at 9 o'clock in the morning to go on and do after the experience. And all of that was made possible. We were able to experience and continue to grow through the wonderful world of partnership. So as a small business, we grew the confidence to say, hey, we might not be at the same scale as the Hilton Hotel, but certainly we know that we can give someone like the Hilton brand a real amazing point of difference too, as an eclectic experience. So being able to go in and partner with them, we would be aligned with as a small business, we've got aligned with a global brand. And we also have somewhere to feed, an opportunity to give our guests an opportunity to stay overnight and not have to wake extra early, particularly with the local market. So that's an example of different ways that we use. Number one, seeing our direct competitors that sold the exact same experience for exact the same price, working together with them to create a collective band of ambassadorship for the experience that we're offering. At the same time, many, you might think, oh, another wine tour operator or another experience in the morning could also be competition. It doesn't have to be the direct ones.
Love those wine tour experiences in the morning, yes.
Well, yeah, the phone to her. Well, that comes after, but certainly, I mean, people have only got limited budgets, right?
Yeah.
So if they're going to fork out money to do a hot air balloon flight, it might come to us, we are competing in that same space between doing another experience for a special occasion or for a proposal or all that good stuff that people are motivated to come and enjoy a balloon flight. So certainly we always took that into account, that we have it's not just the balloon operators that are our competition. It is also other experience. In the same way, and to give you another spin on seeing our competitors, is also our third-party agents that sold our product. They were also, too, in a way, we were competing for the same clients. The only difference is that one is coming to us direct. However, the business is still coming to us if we are if it's coming through a third-party channel, and I'm talking about the likes, whether it's an online travel agent or a wholesaler or an inbound operator. However, we will have to part with commission. So if we're competing on the Google AdWords and the search engine ranks and getting on the first page of Google, sometimes you find you're also competing with the very hand that feeds you as well. So it was very important to, and I know there's a lot of operators and businesses out there that might see that they actually make a decision, and I know some actual hot air balloon operators in a different state made a decision, made a business decision that we are not going to on-sell through third-party agents for that same very reason, that we are competing for the same space, and for all the efforts that we are making into our direct bookings, we'd rather just keep that. And that's fair enough. Everyone has a right to that. It certainly, though, it helps to help and becoming a leader in your own space. I think when you start to not see each other as competition, you become a leader for your experience, for your product. I call it the giver's gain. I go into that kind of mindset that it's abundant. And I'm going to give you one last example, which I went through with you, Lou. And I know the Lynette Bergen Fellowship is actually open at the moment.
It's open again. Closes very soon.
It closes very soon, and I thought it's very fitting I have this opportunity to talk on this very topic with my friends from VTIC and Monarch. So I was very blessed and grateful to have received this Lynette Bergen Fellowship in 2012. Now, as part of my research project, I wanted to go and explore the best, most world-renowned places in the world for hot air ballooning, and one of the best places in the world for as a winery region. So I had an opportunity to go and experience Cappadocia in Turkey. Now I'm talking, I'd never seen any ballooning location like this in my life. It was a balloon festival every single day. So there were 100 balloons flying in the morning. Yeah, so here, like 7 balloons in one morning, as our business at the time was a very good morning. But to see 16 hot air balloon operators and 100 balloons in the air was extraordinary. Now, what I came away, the other location was Tuscany in Italy. Now, the big contrast here, both amazing locations to fly a hot air balloon over, both amazing scenery and weather conditions, and ticks all the boxes. One region, balloon festival every day. The other region, I was the only passenger, and there was only one hot air balloon operator flying in over Tuscany. What I came away and shared with industry was the very topic that we're talking about today. In Cappadocia, it's almost like you don't know which operator is who's. You don't know one from the other. It's all a collective. Even the waiters are involved in telling you, have you booked your balloon flight? Are you going? It's just something that you haven't. Everyone's in on selling ballooning to experience the region. However, on the other side of the spectrum, the attitude from my Italian friend Stefano was very much blaming the government, blaming the funding that's available to him. It was a lot of like, my business and my success has nothing to do with me and my results, but everybody else. And certainly it was very, very distinct difference there in the way they saw each other as competitors, and seeing one thrive and one really in a bit of struggle town, I should say. Here's another example. Now, moving away from tourism, I think it's always great to explore some different examples in other industries, and particularly for small business. This is a single, this is a lawnmower and a cleaning company. So I found this, it was a letter drop in my mail. And here we go, there's a cleaning service on one side of the paper, but rather than leave the behind her little brochure blank, she's gone and seen a lawn mowing service and said, hey, I'm going to invest this much money in doing whatever it costs to do a letterbox drop. Would you want to come in and take the opposite side? Now, they complement each other. They could very well be competition. If I'm going to spend money on cleaning, I might not spend it in getting my lawns mowed, and vice versa. But I thought it was a very, very clever and complementing services to go in. And, you know, we're talking a lot about online and digital marketing and digital assets, but I thought this was a very clever of using just traditional marketing in a cost-effective way to be able to do that. That is not complex. That's right. It doesn't need to be complex.
Actually, there's been
Yes.
a question through from Steve. Good to have you back, Steve. And please do ask questions as you go.
Yes.
Apart from ballooning, do you have any examples of partnering with like-minded companies in a completely different location, in order to promote the experience? You know, I don't know, I think maybe Steve's talking about maybe a B&B, for example, who offers a certain type of B&B experience in a region of Melbourne, but then maybe partnering with another region, someone who offers a similar type of experience in another region.
Who may be seen to be a competitor, but they're in a different region.
That's to maybe encourage dual visitation. I think that's what Steve's on about.
I think that's a brilliant idea. I think if I had Despina's B&B and I had a network of, if they've come to stay with me in the Yarra Valley, and I've gone and partnered with other like-minded, similar products. If I'm a luxury, Despina's B&B is luxury, or Despina's B&B is family, a family B&B. I go and find other similar in other Victorian regions. That would be a web page on my website. If you enjoy Despina's B&B, you will also enjoy Ian's B&B in Great Ocean Road and Lloyd's.
So that would be
promoting the experience.
And partnering with other people. You're reducing costs.
Exactly.
Upping the search engine marketing.
And I was talking about this last night, that it's ecological. It's like nature. It's good for me. It's good for the other business, and it's good for the greater good of exactly what we're doing. It's good for B&Bs. It's good for all of us. So think about how many regions are in Victoria? 11. So if I've initiated this, I've also given myself 11 other opportunities to create an inbound linking back to my site. Another opportunity. Now, what does that cost us to do? Nothing. A phone call. It doesn't even require for phone. We can go and do a desktop research of what other B&Bs would I be willing to promote. You can go,
and then maybe not even think just Victoria. Partner
not just Victoria. That's right.
As well.
That's right.
But a great way to network, I think, with others in the industry.
Right on. Exactly. Invite each other. We would I would like to invite you to come and enjoy Despina's B&B and reciprocate. Then I will do a review for you on my website. Help each other.
Exactly. So thanks, Stephen. Please keep those questions
Stephen. And any other questions that come, that come to mind, absolutely, very, very welcome. Kick them through. So this is another clever collaboration that I stumbled across. So two small businesses without any obvious connection here. So we've got a gluten-free bakery. This was up in Rockhampton that got together with a dietitian. So here we go. So the dietitian came up. So again, using your real estate, leaving a card, a business card, blank at the back, we're wasting priceless real estate. So here, Favour, what they've done, they've got the dietitian that specialises in diabetes had her cards on the counter, but the collaboration was on the back of it, has done a bonus banana bread offer from the bakery for every fifth coffee. Every fifth coffee free plus a banana bread offer. Is that good for her business? Yes. Is that good for the bakery? Yes. Rather than going to the non-gluten, even if they don't have a gluten intolerance, they'll come and enjoy a coffee at the gluten-free, and suddenly they've become raving fans.
They're going to the dietitian.
And this is the funny thing. Well, this is the funny thing. What they were sharing with me is even the team up there, the regional tourism team, was saying, we none of us in here have gluten-free intolerances, but we still go to the gluten-free bakery. So
because it's a partnership. You can see the value.
You can see the value. Exactly.
Absolutely. We often talk about
different businesses.
That's right. We often talk in tourism, especially about small businesses and we often talk about large businesses and very complex partnerships, agreements that involve a lot of work and a lot of hours. And I think it's really important to highlight this stuff. And I love this example that you've included because it's very simple, it's very uncomplicated. Anyone could do this, any industry. And it's just a very simple, more traditional way of working together and finding a business that really aligns with your business in terms of its values and the type of audience it's seeking. So I just love this one. It's great.
And you nailed that, Lou. Something that's very important here is to go into these arrangements. If I guess you're always going to be attracted with people working with people first. So actually taking that to that next level, being like-minded and valuing the same thing, and having those conversations early on. Because what I might see fair, we have to be very congruent in that. Okay, so keep any questions, aha moments, please send it through. So competitors as partners, why do this? Why consider this? We are vying for the share of one market, so we're all in the same bucket. Like we were saying earlier, people have, we've got limited budgets and we're all vying for the same attention online space and the same dollars. Absolutely, partnerships foster innovation. That is, again, I go back to just really, I think all of us, if we will go around the room, anything that really came that was innovative in our businesses, in our careers, would be hard pressed for a partnership or some type of collaboration not to be involved. Exposes your business to new markets. Absolutely.
This example was perfect.
Absolutely. Yeah. These example, even with the ballooning, a corporate guest would come into the Hilton. Boom, we were able to offer a nice little incentive to come and join us on a hot air balloon flight. Now, that is a market we would not have had access to had it not been through our partners. Defying the need to protect market share, absolutely. Putting aside combativeness in favour of collaboration for mutual benefit. It's good for me, good for you, good for the greater good. I use that as a barometer. If I can tick those three boxes, that it's good for me, for my business, it's good for my partner and their business, and it's good for my industry, then it's a hell yeah. That's something that we should do. It's the win-win-win. Yes, it's an extra win there. Competing with, not against. I love that. I love that mindset. I love that thinking. We are in this together, not against each other. Sharing ideas, trends, innovations, and thankfully we're in an awesome industry, tourism, that I think everyone that kind of comes into tourism innately, it's kind of like you're born with this attitude. Upsell related products or cross endorsement. This is another huge one. If we did not have this mindset at Global Ballooning, we would just be doing the same thing, just ballooning. But now we've got experience packages, like Steve mentioned before. We've even got, I still say we even put a package together with Peninsula Hot Springs.
Yeah.
We don't even fly in Mornington Peninsula, but certainly we're like-minded. We work together. It's how can we put this, so we can feature them, they can feature us. Suddenly we're giving eyeballs and presence to this, to new markets, as we mentioned earlier, and certainly upsell related products. I've got my own little version of this in upselling related products. I always say for my students, think about what you do and you do really well. Think about what you don't do and you will never do, because it's not your jam and you're not, it's not something that you will ever consider. But then the third piece of the puzzle there is think of what you can do through a partner. So when you think about what you can't do, that's the list where you start writing down, okay, if I did partner with an accommodation provider, I could have an overnight package. If I partnered with a restaurant that would be up at is operating at 6 o'clock in the morning, I can offer a champagne breakfast after the flight.
Lots of different things like that.
Lots of different things like that.
Yeah. In fact, now's probably a really good time, Desi, to jump in and remind everybody that on the VTIC website, vtic.com.au, we publish a full list of all VTIC members, searchable by their industry sector and or their tourism region.
Yeah,
so jump onto that, look for other like products or non-like products.
Completely different.
Yeah, in your region, in your state. We've got over 1,500 members. If people aren't a member, please encourage them to be one. So just to give Ian McDougall a call. That's the plug there. But hey, there's a really good list there, readily accessible and available, of people in the industry with really great tourism products. Use that website. It's really, really handy.
I do think, and look, I think we've had a couple of questions about how do you actually compete when you're offering exactly the same product.
Yeah.
And I think you sort of touched on that a little bit. But that's, it's similar to what you're saying. I've got an example of a cafe near us in the city here who moved into the block, and they don't have a lot of street visibility. And we sort of wondered, how on earth are you going to survive? And what we saw the cafe operators do was actually collaborate with the cafes on that block. And you sort of think, how on earth do you stand apart from these guys? And what they developed was a partnership around really basic things. They started using the same coffee beans. And so the delivery and, some of those costs dropped because of that. They started using the same programs. They still have their own market share, and they're actually have targeted a little bit of a different audience, and that's how they stood out. But just little examples like that makes you realize what you can possibly do. And I think, Ian's right. If you look at that list on the website of the members, what can you do? Like, what's possible, and what can you explore that really might either reduce some costs or just take you into a different market and a different space.
Right, cool.
That is an excellent example, because that's right. Even this what's the cafe name? Paper
Tiger.
Paper Tiger. I loved hearing that, because even like you said, it might be, let's help each other by buying cheaper coffee beans.
Yeah.
If you're buying coffee beans and I'm buying coffee beans, we can buy in larger volume together. Isn't that's amazing?
They actually partner together.
That is a perfect example.
Competition.
Yes.
They sat around and had a coffee, all the owners directly in competition. And what we've seen is
love that.
The patronage has just increased hugely since they moved in. So they've done very well.
Mindset.
Yes.
It's a mindset thing, really. Like he's come in with in the right headspace.
Work together.
It's simple stuff, isn't it? Sometimes we need to be reminded, and especially when it comes to, this is a fantastic time of year to be talking about this. Comes to the end of financial year, you're reviewing all your marketing and how your business went. Certainly taking this on board from today to be really thinking, well, how can I take this on strategically for my business moving forward, as opposed to leaving it ad hoc when you're at the tourism VTIC conference or a next networking event, rather than leaving it to chance. Be actively, and I think that's a fan starting off with the already VTIC members. You already have something in common. The introduction's a lot easier.
Very true.
That you're both already like-minded and see the value in your industry by investing in your membership.
Yeah, and if you're not too sure who the person is at the business you might like to associate with, give us a call at VTIC.
Oh,
We'll
yes.
gladly introduce you.
Yes, love it.
It's all about members helping members.
Yes,
Part of
yes.
member engagement.
Oof. So developing relationships, how do we do this? Definitely it takes practice, needs to be a deliberate effort. Couldn't agree more. Stay connected. So developing relationships, staying connected. Don't be just calling people when you need something. Be doing the check-in. If you need to put calendar reminders for yourself to say check in with Ian at such and such date, just making those touch points. Listen, talk, share, laugh. There's that highly effective people. It's listen to understand, not listen to talk, that basic principle of listening to understand. Make mistakes, learn lessons. I know in my early days, and many of us can attest to the same thing, if it wasn't for all of the, a mentor will always present themselves to you in this industry, and certainly be that mentor for others when you see or hear someone that new coming into your space, whether it's a direct competitor or not, lending out a hand. And always remember when you first started what would have really helped you out and how daunting it can be starting a business or buying a new business and being completely vulnerable and out of your comfort zone and having cash flow issues. Just be that guy that is really helpful, because they will remember you for life and be indebted to you for life. We all can remember that person. But certainly there's a lot of, and then the whole, I want to talk to you about even the smart collaborations, and I like that hashtag collabs. So making sure you're aware of what are your regional hashtags, what is it that already your regional destination, the state, Visit Victoria, they're invested in the Wander Victoria hashtag, making sure that you're not leaving your business out of the loop here by making that effort to become aware of what your destination hashtags are, and be the destination ambassador that you are also a member of. So become an extension of your regional destination marketing team, and also be promoting the we as much as you are the me. Okay, so it's really important that we put that in the mix, that we are also educators and taking the opportunity through our socials, through our content that we're creating on our websites, that we're creating those opportunities to educate the marketplace on what makes us special and unique and magical to someone else, and taking that leading role.
Good call.
And as you can see here, using a hashtag like South Gippsland, there's over 17, just under, at the time that this screenshot was taken, just under 18,000 posts. You want to make sure that you're paying attention to these things, because this is definitely another way of collaborating, and you'll be surprised at even initiating partnerships, like having a look at these, having a look at the posts and who else is using the same hashtags. You'd be surprised how many collaborations can come out of those. So I want to show you a direct example of this. I hashtagged South Gippsland, and at the time, what was I saying? Really looking forward to an afternoon drive to South Gippsland tomorrow to speak at, and it was an event I was speaking at, and I hashtagged the region. At the event, that same evening, hi Despina, thank you for the lovely Instagram tag. I'm still da-da-da. So anyway, I've tagged this business. I've tagged this business because I use their image, so I've credited them. I've never met Terralglen, new eco glamping experience. But I tagged their, I used their photo and I tagged them, and then suddenly we've been having an email communication. Now that is,
We've opened a channel.
We've opened a channel. Had she not used, she's a new business, she's starting a glamping experience. Had she not used that hashtag South Gippsland, I would never have found her. And this is, she's earned that media.
That's right.
She's earned media, and now we have a relationship together.
Right.
Suddenly we're talking about, what can we do? So that's an example of using
Absolutely.
smart collaboration and using your hashtags. So they're not just yeah, it's not just a silly thing. It's an actual. I do a whole thing on hashtag strategies, which we do in the diploma of social media marketing with Monarch. So hope you can get think of your hashtags in the same light when it comes to partnerships and your collaboration.
Yeah. Actually, jump in there. Dave was just popped up with a question.
Yes.
Despy, what did you wish you knew when you started your small business?
Oh, everything.
That's a very good question.
It's a very good question. That is an amazing question. Now, for me, I thought, like, I've managed small businesses for a very long time prior to starting on my own. But certainly what I wished I knew, and what surprised me, I guess, in starting a new business is just how lonely it can be. So what I really missed the most, I found my first year in business, I almost grieved my life beforehand of having security, having a team, having a title, having almost like some type of significance. It took me a while to kind of go, who the heck, what is this about? So it was just, I guess, maybe that's too deep for our conversation of partnership.
No.
But it is on topic as well, because if it wasn't for the relationships I had built, if it wasn't for just the industry and getting out and talking to like-minded people, if it wasn't for, Neil Davenport, he was my guy. He went out on his own. He was earlier on in the game, and I remember him reaching out and just saying, let's have a coffee. I know how lonely it can be. I'm just touching base with you. And it was just it was angelic moment that, oh my God, it was just really lovely to reach out. And it's paying it forward to see anyone else that's taking that massive leap to do that. So certainly, but in terms of what I wish I knew, business-wise, was around finances. So I'm a marketer at heart.
Absolutely.
I am all about, it is. Yeah. Sometimes I found I had a lot of just around financing and invoicing and tax and the GST and,
it's overwhelming, isn't it?
4 years in for a small business, that was, when you've been working all your life and getting a salary and had a bookkeeper and had someone just managing the accounts to do that stuff.
That's right.
But certainly that was, if I could do if there was something I wish I could have done differently, was get a handle or maybe done some more training around bookkeeping and managing finances, because I found, it took me a while. It's a huge area.
And it's something I think you're right is really is underrated, as in we don't put enough we don't give enough attention before you go into a small business. And there's so many of my colleagues in tourism, they get to a point and they're either starting their own business. I've got a very good friend of mine who started her own, it's a camping business actually, and she's sort of just going through the motion and doing what she does really well, and then every now and then would sort of trip up and say, well, I've got no idea about finance, I've got no idea how to manage this sort of stuff. And I think, in to keep in theme here with our partnerships, some of those partnerships came up and really saved her, and that's what this industry is really good for. We then supported each other, and we all reached across and sort of went, well, I'm going to help you with this, I'm going to help you with this. And she's now done a little bit of training, she's done some small business training, she's learned a bit more in that space. But 100% agree with you. I think it's a big area.
Absolutely.
A big area.
Yeah. You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. Yes.
The industry is fantastic about helping other people.
Yes.
So reach
Couldn't
out,
agree more.
make some contacts, and ask a couple of questions, and people will help as well.
Yes.
But you've got to actually reach out.
You've got to reach out.
Develop that relationship, develop that partnership.
Yes. Oh, you don't know you're in a funk too when you're in it until you kind of come out of it and go, ooh, that was actually a bit dark. And then finding people around you that you can have those chats with. But I wouldn't have lasted that first. And I keep milestones now, all the stats that you hear for small business, the first year, it's ridiculous. Like, there's such a high percentage that don't make it through the first year. My next milestone
now they're saying, I read yesterday, 86% fail within the first 3 years.
86% fail. So I just keep these stats in my head.
Sorry, 65. Sorry.
65.
My mistake. I don't
there you go, 65. So after I made the first year, I was like,
around 35% succeed.
That's right.
35% succeed, yeah. And I know 5 years is another milestone. So I'm just getting on to 4, so hang in there.
Partnerships can hopefully ensure that you actually make that 35%.
Well, that's right.
Make sure that you're part of that 35%.
Oh, I would have been in the 65 easy if it wasn't for partners.
And
if it wasn't for networking
Exactly.
and giving all of that, yeah, definitely. So hopefully everyone's finding these conversation and topics and content valuable. Give us some, let us know, and keep those questions coming. So networking for business success, establish and nurture your LinkedIn profile. Absolutely. Give your LinkedIn some love. I talked a lot about LinkedIn for young professionals, established professionals, CEOs, managing directors. I think it's an amazing platform for you to share what you do, why you do it. And again, through that, being able to educate and inspire and extend what's in your head to a greater audience. LinkedIn is a wonderful place to be able to do that. Joining interest groups, again, going back to that like-mindedness, particularly for small business, being involved in different networks, little masterminds, make your own. Forums. Yep. That's it. In my early days, that was something that I did, which was amazing too. I got together with other kind of freelance type. There were 6 of us, and we just caught up online every Monday morning, and I did that for the first 2 years. Every Monday morning, and we went around and just shared our experiences, where we were challenging. If anyone, like, that's something you can easily initiate yourself within your region with other B&Bs. We also did that at Global. I didn't even think of that. We created our own little Melbourne and Beyond group. Now, there were 2 winery tours in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a Segway operator in that. There was a walking tour. But we were all experiences. We could very well, there were direct competitors and then not non-direct competitors, but certainly we got together as a collective. We branded ourselves as Melbourne and Beyond. And then we went to trade shows together. We created a new, so it was just another means. And
Love it.
Which, again, anything that we can collectively get together and think about, not just with your marketing, but going back to the coffee beans and what we did with, we collaborated with Terry from Segway Victoria, and we did a pop-up at Doncaster Shopping Centre for a Christmas trade. Now, that is something it was completely new territory, but it was a lot easier to test when we invested 50% on what we would have on our own. Going into partnerships to do it. Now, certainly not many people bought 2 gift vouchers for a balloon and a Segway experience, but we shared the love, we did it together, and it was a very successful initiative. So networking definitely helps in that way. Join industry networking groups. Show up to industry events. Showing up, like last night was so chilly in Melbourne, but it was so inspiring that a room full of people showed up to learn and to get to know each other. It's like a gym workout. I just worked away from that and thought, this is like going to the gym. You never regret. You never regret getting up and get ready and just get yourself there. There will always be an amazing connection. There will always be an amazing conversation. So I would definitely say, show up. Take that hour drive and come into Melbourne if you have to. It'll be good for you and your business. There'll be nothing to lose from that.
Just on that,
yes.
It probably helps. It's probably more so in Melbourne, but we are thinking about doing some of these regionally as well. So please let us know if you'd like to do them in your region. But VTIC does a monthly mixer series. It's a free event. You come along, you buy me a beer. I know you don't have to do that, but it would be nice though. Come on, first Wednesday of every month. Normally around about 5:30 or 6. The next 2 actually at the Melbourne Aquarium.
Beautiful.
So the first Wednesday, the 6th of June, and then whatever the first Wednesday in July is, from 6 until 8. It's free. Just buy your own drinks. And we have organised discounted rates. Get around about 40 to 50 plus people along just to have a chat. Great start to your networking.
Perfect.
And also, the Victorian Chamber does fast forwards and business after dark networking events as well. So look on the VTIC website. We always list all the upcoming networking events. We do lots of those.
Excellent.
Great way to meet people.
If you put that as part of your business development, business growth strategy,
Absolutely.
attend one a month.
Or send
and tick
some,
that box.
or send some people within your business that may not have had that opportunity. It doesn't always have to sit with you as the director or as the business owner. I think it doesn't matter what size of business, you can always use that as professional development. You will never regret it. I completely agree, Despy. I've got a mantra that I'll be sort of tired at the end of the day, and am I going to go to this event? Yes, I'm going to go because I never regretted it. 100%.
Yes.
Something happens at the event. I walk away feeling either more inspired or I get a great connection.
Definitely. That's it. And introducing yourself, that is all, taking that leading role and introducing yourself, inviting people to come to your business. Ian's just put it out there. If you'd like to, if you'd like this to happen in your region, whoever's out there, make that call. Invite. Let's partner together. We'll host it at our venue. You can make these things happen very quickly. Know and protect your intellectual property, very important too. So definitely have those, keep those things in mind. If alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Don't you love that? I think that encapsulates an entire industry. Tourism, the meaning and the essence of the word is partnership. If there were, isn't it? Because for our visitors are not going to come just to experience our product. They're also, if they're going, they need to eat and drink and do and play. So the essence of what we do is a collaboration. Okay, so that comes, keep those questions coming. There is another webinar coming up.
The monthly webinar series continues on.
Yes.
Asia Link Business and Thomas Day, a good friend there. So next Wednesday, the third Wednesday of June, the 20th of June, creating quality experiences for Chinese visitors. This promises to be a really good one. Thomas has got a raft of experience in the China market. And if anybody knows what sort of experiences that market is looking for, Thomas is. So please make sure you register for that one. We'll be sending out some communications to remind you, but as always, it's on our website. This one will be on our website very, very soon and open for registrations then. And the next one, of course, is some more upcoming events. Not necessarily VTIC events, because the Destination Melbourne have their annual live conference coming up on the 31st of May. I only saw something on LinkedIn this morning about some special prizes or passes for the next 20 registrations.
Yeah, there you go.
That promises to be an excellent day run by our really good friends at Destination Melbourne. So jump onto the Destination Melbourne website and register for that live conference. The Mixer series coming up on the 6th of June that I mentioned, the first Wednesday of the month, Melbourne Aquarium, a new destination, a new venue for the Mixers, and also a slightly new time. It starts at 6. It's always been 5:30 before. So just remember it's 6 for this one, and we'll see lots of people there, I think. And of course, 30-31 July, the 2018 Victorian Tourism Conference at Cape Shank. 2 very, very exciting days. The program is out. Registrations are starting to flow in. Get your accommodation early if you're not a local down that way, because I think it will book out reasonably fast. But a really, really good conference and a very exciting raft of both presenters and workshops on both days. And day 2 is really exciting as well, with C2 coming on board. We've also confirmed the Managing Director of Tourism Australia for day 2 as well.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
It'll be a really good couple of days. And it's all on the website, vtic.com.au.
And a great spot.
Yeah, it's a fabulous spot. Looking forward to that, and a great dinner on the Monday night as well. And if you're there on the Sunday, or perhaps on the golf course or Peninsula Hot Springs, have a bit of a special offer going as well. But again, it's all on the VTIC website.
Fantastic.
And so with I think that's almost it. No, I don't think there are any other questions that have come through. A big thanks once again to our big partners at Webfirm. Luke's done a marvellous job here. Thanks, Luke, and to Tristan.
Luke.
And to Tristan in the background for all the stuff there. They are our digital marketing partner at Webfirm, and we are so proud to partner with Webfirm. And ladies, Despy, Lou, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
And
thank you for everyone for joining us. Will this be available?
This will be available on the VTIC YouTube channel in a couple of days. So just jump on a VTIC, click the little YouTube icon at the top, and it will be there.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
So thanks everyone for attending. Contact details are on the top there for Lou.
If you have any training queries about small business training, either marketing or leadership management, just please get in touch with myself. Jump online there. You can see the website.
Social media.
For social media that Despina is our trainer for. We're so excited. It's the only qualification in social media marketing that you can get in Australia. It's brand new, and please jump online, have a look through if you want to get more information.
And special deals for VTIC members, of course, as always. And so signing off from us in the traditional manner, VTIC, improving the world, one webinar at a time.
Oh, I love that. Thank you, everyone.